Warning, this contains huge spoilers for Captain America Brave New World. Hey everyone, my name's Sheldon, and after watching that post-credit scene, I realized something about this movie. Ross is always contained unless he's hulking out, and this containment it intensifies as the film progresses. As Harrison Ford gets crammed into smaller and smaller rooms, this is a metaphor for what President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is going through. In cinema, space is power, so every time Ross is crammed into a room with even less space, the less he's in control, so the closer he comes to hulking out. Now, this can be observed from the beginning to the end of Brave New World. When he first faces the public, bulletproof panels surround President Ross, presumably to protect him. But it's not really for his safety, it's to protect us from the Red Hulk. Later, during his presentation, Ross is separated from the world's leaders by glass screens. In his next scene, Ross is holed up in a bunker filled with advisors that make the room even feel smaller. Cap can't even get Ross alone without at least one staff member crowding him, in particular his chief of security, the president's emotional support Black Widow.
Sun's getting real low.
When he finally walks out of that bunker, Ross even calls out the metaphor himself. The longer I stay in here, the weaker I look. And even when the president is getting some exercise in, he has to do it inside Air Force One. During the Celestial Island scene, the containment gets less subtle with Ross inside the hull of a Navy warship, and Ross ventures into even tighter corridors when the leader tries to get him to hulk out. Meanwhile, the complete opposite is true for Cap himself, who's out there flying in the sky with the new Falcon, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, it's after that when Ross gets a small taste of the outdoors himself, during the Oval Office scene. But while Ross enjoys a gorgeous view of the garden from his office, the containment persists through the harsh lighting in the room. Notably, the lighting only eases up once Ross finally talks to Betty on the phone. Finally, when he ventures out into the public and in front of the media, Ross transforms into the Red Hulk. Free from any containment, Ross finally unleashes the pressure that's been building up in all of these rooms, and the result is a brief but genuine shift into real horror before giving us the long overdue Hulk out scenes we've all been waiting for.
Hulk out!
Brave New World's clever use of space. Now, this isn't revolutionary, it's just Cinema 101, but we gotta give credit where credit is due. Director Julius Onah took every opportunity to use space for underscoring his core themes. In fact, when Ross transforms, the first thing he does is destroy 3 spaces that famously represent America. Simply put, this is a metaphor for the sheer amount of power that rests in the president's hands. After laying waste to the White House, the Red Hulk permanently defaces the Washington Monument as he heads to East Potomac Park to do more damage. In his first few minutes outside containment, the president razed the executive headquarters, vandalized history, and destroyed an entire public park. And on the resulting pile of rubble, the Red Hulk only stops when Cap meets him eye to eye on equal ground, transforming back into Ross. After this, Ross goes back into containment, literally, in a cell beneath the raft, and there the conceit is finally lifted. Again, all this containment wasn't to protect Ross, but to protect all of us from him. In the MCU, however, even metaphors can't do anything against the rage of a gamma-irradiated Hulk.
Smash.
After the Red Hulk tore through the White House like butter, it would be in the government's best interest to keep Cap and Betty Ross around. For now, they seem to be the only ones who can keep the now former president, well, indoors. And let's not forget the guy that we can thank for putting Ross inside the pressure cooker, Dr. Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader.
Captain America. Who's playing who?
The Leader simply ignores the space metaphor. Ross irradiated and used the Leader as his own private mentat for over a decade, and all this time, Ross kept the budding supervillain imprisoned under Camp Echo 1. However, with his gamma-enhanced brain, the Leader was able to simply ignore the narrative implications of containment. Yet he's not totally immune to the metaphor. The Leader gains power by leveraging what's in his space. From his private quarters and laboratory, the Leader eventually annexes all of Camp Echo 1, flipping his confinement into a supervillain lair. Inadvertently, after thwarting the Leader's initial plan, Cap even gives the Leader a better reveal for the Red Hulk, one that extends his control over the political space of public opinion. In short, the Leader's actions subvert common expectations about the use of space in cinema. From the shadows of containment, the Leader was behind every step of the president's anxiety-inducing journey all along. In fact, even as the seemingly defeated villain gets imprisoned under the raft, his last words to Cap imply that the Leader knows about the upcoming multiverse war And on that note, while we focused on the villains, all their character development was in service of one thing. Captain America finally claims his space. No matter what Cap himself says, he proves in Brave New World that he never really needed the super soldier serum. For starters, not being a super soldier greatly reduced Sam's chances of going to prison like Isaiah Bradley, or wearing the tight suit of a would-be congressman like Bucky. If he already had superpowers, the new Cap would have never gotten a vibranium Wakandan wingsuit, the symbol that bridges the gap between two powerful nations. From Cap's badass dive bomb entrance to Red Hulk's big vibranium endurance test, Cap stands his ground and firmly claims his space in the MCU. So what do you think? What else did you notice about the use of space in Brave New World? Tell us your thoughts in the comments and keep watching ScreenRant. Once again, I'm Shell. Thanks for stopping by and I'll see you next time.